all vegetation out there, one way that trees and bushes and plants get their food is they have a chemical inside the leaves or inside needles or inside little plants, and that chemical is called chlorophyll. And it's a green chemical that's inside the trees, and that chemical interacts with the sunshine and it creates sugar and carbohydrates or different kinds of food for the tree. So the kind of trees that change color are generally, if you look at them, they're trees that have big, wide leaves. And so throughout the summer, the tree makes new leaves every single year. And the tree can move this chlorophyll from its bark, like the tree trunk, and out to the leaves. So in the springtime, it moves the chlorophyll out into the leaves. And there's other kinds of things that can create color in the leaves too, but the chlorophyll becomes the most dominant chemical in the leaf, and that makes the leaves look green in the summer. And so then the leaf is spread out and the sun is shining on it every day, and it's making lots of sugar and keeping the tree healthy. And the tree is also getting some nutrients from the soil too, but a lot of its energy and nutrients are coming from the leaves. Well, what happens with these kind of trees in the fall is they've developed a strategy to deal with wintertime where it's like, hey, it's too much energy and the sunshine is not shining very brightly in the winter. So the trees start to pull all that chlorophyll, which is so important to them, back into their trunk. And what happens is there's some other kinds of chemicals that are in the leaf. And these chemicals are orange and yellow and purple and all the different colors that you see in the fall. So that's why the leaves change color. And the factors that let the tree know, hey, it's time for me to start pulling the chlorophyll back into the trunk are temperatures. As the fall comes along, we get colder temperatures. And also because our day length, as the sun goes around the earth, our day length gets shorter in the fall. And so the tree can sense these different conditions, also like water conditions. There's a bunch of different factors, and the tree can sense that. And that's what makes them start to take the chlorophyll in. And then you get those different colors. And then the tree drops the leaf and basically goes to sleep for the winter. And then the other kind of trees, which are like Christmas trees, fir trees, and spruce trees, and pine trees, they're called conifers or coniferous trees. And so those trees kind of have a different strategy. And so what they do, as I was saying before, is they're adapted to living in fairly cold climates. And what they do is they have very modified leaves that are very thin. If you look at a Christmas tree, you know, they just have like little needle-like leaves. And part of the reason for that, as I was saying, is they can then deal with really, really cold weather. And they're also can like retain a lot of water. So they might be able to live in different kinds of conditions because they have different leaves. But the way that they deal with, they also have chlorophyll. So they are photosynthesizing in the summer and they're making food. But these trees have a different strategy. They don't drop their leaves in the winter. They still keep all the chlorophyll in the leaves. So the leaves don't change color. But what they do is they do not drop their leaves every single year. So they have this strategy of, hey, I'm going to keep my leaves for like 2, 3, 4 years. And they save lots and lots of energy that way. Because when the tree has to make from a bud, make a new leaf every year, that takes a lot of energy and they need a lot of food. So what these trees do is they just keep their leaves for several years and they keep the chlorophyll in the leaves. But one thing that's kind of interesting is in general, like the deciduous trees with the big leaves, they don't photosynthesize and make food in the winter. They still kind of go into a somewhat kind of go to sleep. They might do a little bit of photosynthesizing in the winter and making food, but at a much, much less rate. So they both kind of have the same strategy in terms of making most of their food when the sun is shining in the summer and less in the winter. That they just save energy by not dropping their leaves.